Good morning, Ms. Deline here with an oracle card, and today's card is Kali. And it says the old must be released so the new can enter. What great advice. The message from Kali is, I sing praises to those whose hearts accept the universal order, which only appears to be chaotic and ever-changing. In actuality, everything is designed down to the smallest detail to be in perfect operation. The dance of the universe is a happy one, with energy swirling and twirling in a never-ending celebration of life itself. Join this dance, dear one, and enjoy the remarkable journey of the weavings of the story of your life. Do not fear what appears to be a change or a loss. It is only the transitioning orbit of energy interplaying with you and your loved ones. Embrace it as evidence that you're alive. Embrace your deepest emotions as a signal of your true human essence. Various meanings of the card are, your current changes are for the best. Keep your thoughts positive as they're very powerful. What appears to be a loss is really the beginning of a happy new phase. Let the past go. It's time to move on. And this is about Kali. This ultra-powerful Hindu goddess is feared by those who don't understand the natural cycles of birth, death, and rebirth. Kali is the embodiment of Mother Nature who cleanses away the old with natural storms and fires to make the ground fertile for new crops and life. Kali is the ultimate get-things-done goddess, and she's a powerful ally to those who call upon her. Remember that, I will. Like a wise stage mother, she'll push you beyond your comfort zone to reach the heights of your potential. And isn't it the truth that it's by stepping out of our comfort zone that we grow? And it feels like the more discomfort we step into, the more we grow. And that it's important to let go of the past so that we can welcome in the future. It's just like when, there's pine cones that, I can't remember what kind of a tree, some kind of pine tree, and it's the cone, those pine cones are filled with seeds. And this particular tree, the seeds aren't exposed and able to plant except by fire. So when a forest fire comes through, it opens these pine cones open, and the seeds grow after that. Fire is very cleansing, and obviously for some things it's fertile. The fields here in Oregon, unfortunately for people who have asthma, they burn the fields so that they can replant. And so, we have to let the old go. The old growth gets burned off so the new can grow, right? But in our lives, we need to let the past go. The past is in the past. We have a past, we have the now, we have the future, right? As if we drag the past along with us, it hinders us in the present, always. And so, we can be aware of our past. We have our memories. It's not that you're going to magically remove your memories. That's not it. It's about letting go of the past, the pain and the trauma and the things that hold you back. It might be a good thing too. So I had this, I don't know where I read this, but it's just stuck with me that, when things happen, when we hold on to them, we're keeping them like we hoard. I'm a crystal hoarder. But people hoard different things, and the hoarding that most people do is out of fear. I need to buy a bazillion things of toilet paper because I'm afraid it won't be available later or whatever. So it's out of fear. And so when we hold on to things, it fills up the space that we have. So when we hold on to the past, the emotions and the things that happened in the past, we're keeping that. And an analogy is like you have a backpack on your back, and every time something happens, you hold on to that, you put it in your backpack, you put it in your backpack. Well, after a while, that backpack is really heavy and really slowing you down. And so I once talked to a woman who she'd always wanted to travel, always. She was in her 60s. She had the opportunity, a paid trip to visit another country, someplace she'd always wanted to go. And she was going to be gone for a little over a week, and she took me aside and she said, "Can you check on my husband for me? I'm just terrified." And I said, "What are you terrified about?" And she said, "Well, I'm afraid he's going to have an affair while I'm gone." I mean, these people had been married like 50 years, right? And I just looked at her and I said, "What are you, I was like in shock. What are you talking about?" And she said, "Well, when so-and-so, one of her kids, was a baby, he had an affair on me. And I've always been afraid, and now I'm leaving, and so it's the perfect opportunity." And in my head, I'm thinking, nobody's going to want to have an affair with that guy, okay? But really in my head, I'm seeing her backpack. This giant, huge backpack that she carries with her. Every hurt, everything that has ever happened to her, she's stuffed in that backpack, and she couldn't live her life. So she had this opportunity for this joyous thing that she'd been always wanted, but she was being weighted down by something that had happened 45 years before, and she was afraid it would happen again. And the other, so I did talk to her, but some people, your words fall on deaf ears. People need to hear. If they want to, if they want to feel good, they have to be ready to hear certain things. But anyway, another option would have been for her to process her feelings around him having that affair and either leave his butt or forgive him and just move on, right? But instead, she held that fear in that backpack for 45 years, right? Until it, jumped out and blared its horn at her. So that's just an example of, leave the past in the past. Things happen. Hard things happen. We're human. We have human reactions. But we can allow that hard thing to stay with us and continue on. Like another example are people who were molested as children. I left it in the past. It affected me. It's, I still have the memory. It's like it didn't make it go away. But the opposite thing is to carry it with you and keep that pain and be angry. So I know someone that a very similar thing happened to, and they were angry all the time. And I couldn't figure out why they were angry all the time. And then finally one day, they shared with me in a really angry way, just shouted it out at me. You don't know what it's like to bowl. And it's like, well, yeah, I do. They had allowed that thing that happened to them, that perp, to control their whole life. And they were in their 50s. And for 50 years, again, the 50-year thing, they had allowed what had happened to them to control everything in their life. How sad that is. The other option is to let go of that to get the help you need, go to counseling, go to therapy, read self-help books, meditate, pray, whatever. There's so many methods of getting over hard things, right? And just because something happened in the past doesn't mean you have to carry it with you into the future, or doesn't mean that it has to color your lens for the rest of your life. And so when you're a child and things happen to you, you don't have any kind of, you don't have any power, right? You're a kid. These things happen to you, and there's nothing you can do about it. But once you become an adult, you do have power. You can make choices. You can choose to let it go. And that sounds easy. It's not. It might take you years to let it go, but let it go, okay? Because I love you, and I want you to feel good about yourselves. I want you to feel good about your life. And holding on to that old pain and trauma only holds you back and keeps you from living a love-filled life. And so remember that the old must be released so that the new can enter. And look at what you want to enter your life. For me, it's all about love. I want to have love in my life. I want to have joy in my life. I changed my last name to Bliss, not legally yet, but I want to have bliss. That's my goal, is to experience more bliss. So, but in order to do that, I have to let go of that old pain, right? Let go release the old so that the new can enter, which is joy and love. And I love you, and I wish you joy.